Hello, hi, how's it going? Welcome back. I'm Big Click Energy. When was the last time I streamed? I think it was last week. Yeah, I've been trying to get back into. My only promise has only ever been once a week, so I'm meeting that bare minimum. And I try to do more, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, if you joined me last time or didn't, we were doing Mandalorian edits because that's the first thing I pointed my camera at this year in 2024 was some Mandalorians, believe it or not. So yeah, that's what we've been up to. And behind the scenes, I've learned by editing that one in 3 hours on that one stream, I learned that it's better that I just work behind the scenes and then show you how it all comes together after the fact. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff that I've been doing behind the scenes. I want to stream a little bit later in the day. Hopefully try to get whatever audience there is this time of day, wherever they are in the world. But that way I have the entire morning, because I have pretty good self-discipline, and I'll start working at like 8 or 9 in the morning, and sometimes earlier if I feel like it, or if I get myself together early enough. But I'll work all day and then stream what I can when I can. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. Let's check it out. Let's look at the Mandalorian edits. So, well, last time we were together, I did this, and that was pretty groovy. That was fun. But it took too long because streaming is a little distracting. But that's fine. It's fun. We chat, we have a good time. So, that's what we did last time. I'm happy with that. I think it's nice. That's a little before and after. I kind of saved it as a screenshot so I could use it as a thumbnail. But yeah, that's what we got so far for that. Today, I'm not sure how long this stream's going to go. It's going to go as long as it goes. I got an errand I need to run this evening because I didn't do it today because I was working. I'm trying to get these edits done so I can deliver them to the people who are in them. These photos were shot the first week of January. I'm hoping to have them done by the end of the month. That gives me a few weeks. January is one of the longer months, so yeah. Last time we were together, we did this one. And this time, we're going to work on this one. And a few others. A few others. So, I forgot. So, for the rest of them, I didn't forget, and I used this one as a lesson. But while I was working on this one, if you follow me, I'm tongue-tied, sorry. If you follow me, you might have learned by now that I'm a composite editor when I edit this stuff. I'm a photographer. Like, that's my bread and butter. I just take pictures and do basic editing to them like most photographers would do. But where I take it one step further is with cosplay photography, which I only got into, has it been 5 years already? It might have been a few years now. I started taking pictures of cosplayers probably a decade ago, but I didn't start really doing the cool editing stuff until probably 6 or 7 years ago. So, like, I had to go to school to figure it out. I needed to go to college just to learn Photoshop. But here we are. And I don't do tablet. I do paint. I do sort of, you'll see. But it's mostly composite. So what that means for me, I've heard other people use other terms, but in college my professor used the term compositing. And it's kind of like collaging in a way, but smashing the pieces together. So I take, let's say, a picture of a sun or a picture of some trees. Maybe you could YouTube composite editing. It might pop up. I might have to find a photographer who's made a good tutorial, or I can make one myself. But a lot of times, at least what I learned in college, we started with like basic stuff, like public domain pictures of like, the ocean, forests, rooms, like an empty hallway, like whatever, a city street. I remember I picked for an assignment once, I had to pick a city street, and it had to be empty and public domain. Everything we had to use was public domain. And it had to be an empty city street, and we had to put elements in it. People, something happening, action. I put in like some sci-fi horror stuff going on, like aliens and people being abducted. It was fun. I don't have it, or I would share it and show you. But stuff like that, like just layering different elements in. That's what I do. And I forgot to save all the elements for this background, of which there are a few. There's space and sun and scene. Pardon me, I'm drinking ginger ale today. And I forgot to save those separately so you could see them, but I believe in the other edits I have them. Well, I still have the layers intact so you can see exactly what they are. So, first things first, I figure out a background that I want. Oh yeah, you know what? I got music for this. I forgot to start it. There we go. And I got DMC. I made sure I got DMCA. I thought I had DMCA free stuff last time, but I made doubly sure I had DMCA free stuff this time. I had a couple spots in my last video where I was muted, just for like, it was when lyrics got popping up, and I'm very particular about DMCA free stuff that no words, you know, just music. So anyway, back to the work. So what I usually do is find a background that I like, or that I think might work with the subject. Usually what happens is I'll find 10, 15 backgrounds that I like, pile them all in, and go through like a process of elimination. Like, you know, there can only be one. So I'll just start fiddling and checking out the different layers and seeing which one looks best behind that subject. And once I found what I like, I will... Photoshop has it's come a long way with some of its new tools. And typically, how I was taught back in the day was to use a pen tool. And I despise the pen tool. I refuse to use it. It's disgusting. What I typically use, what I learned, a lovely professor who showed me a shortcut in college, was this quick selection tool. And in tandem with, what is this tool down here? This bad boy. Oh, you can't see it behind my box here. Can't think of what this is. The mask? Something? Forget what it's called. I'm bad with remembering the names of these. But anyway, I would use to just quick select and then inverse that selection. Click the little mask tool. It turns red, and you can like use the paintbrush with black and white to perfect, like with a paintbrush, perfect exactly where you want it selected. And that's how I would hand select my my subjects. And now I still do that, but Photoshop's got a nice tool where you can select the subject. It's a part of their text to image background generator or whatever. I don't use it. I don't like what AI does to these. I've tried to just see what AI in Photoshop itself will do with my cosplay stuff. It's not as good as what I can do, so I'm gonna keep doing it my way. So I use this tool to select the subject now, because it's pretty dang close. As long as the background's not too noisy, it gets pretty dang close. So I'll select the subject with that, get a rough selection, then go in, use my quick selection tool, clean it up, use this little, whatever the fuck that is, I forgot, I'm sorry, with the paintbrush, and then really fix it up. Here, I'll show you exactly how I do that. So there it's selected. It's already perfect because I already did it, but for the sake of showing you, let's inverse it. This is something I do when I'm working. See how it's red? You can also change this color. Sometimes I'll have people wearing red or whatever, and you can't quite tell where you're selecting, so you can thankfully change it to whatever. I usually just cycle between red and like bright teal, because those people are very rarely wearing like neon red or neon teal. Unless you get cosplayers, sometimes they are. So with this, I would typically, you can see everything's pretty much selected as I wanted it to be. This one I didn't do a perfect selection all the way around and had to clean it up kind of rough. But you can use the paintbrush to like, say, take away where you don't want it to be selected. So it's a great way to get like a precise selection. Anyway, that's that. So what I've done with this piece, found my background, selected my subject, took them out. That's the original color in on the subject, right? I scooted him over a little bit, but that's basically how he looks. So the next step was to clone, duplicate whatever that layer, get another one, and come up here, neural filters, and they have this great tool called harmonization. Whoops, it's over here. Harmonization right here. And if you turn it on, you can select exactly what layer you want to harmonize with. And I chose this one, obviously, because it's the background I want to work with. And it just kind of helps, using AI, it helps auto kind of, you can still use little sliders to tweak it, you know. But it's a great way to like get overall environmental change on your subject to match the background behind it. So that's pretty cool. And then I overlaid, I copied that, so what I did is I copied that twice, overlaid it. I have a better example in these other ones where I didn't delete my layers. But I tried to save as much as I could for you. And in these layers, let's see, so what's going on here? These are clipped down, so these are, oh yeah, color. So what I did on this layer, layer 10, was go in with yellow, white, red, black, all the colors that are on his suit, and just kind of went over all that. That's just, I don't know, something I do is hand paint over color just to make it pop a little bit more. Same for blacks and whites. I'll do a separate layer just for highlights to go over where it's really light and make it even lighter. Put a little glare on the gun because I can't help myself. I have to put a lens flare in there sometimes. Not all the time, not in every piece, but every once in a while. And then these last layers are just light effects, just to kind of help blend the background in a little bit. I also used this, hold on, which layer? This layer and this layer is where I get a lot of color on the cowl here. I tried to like make it as yellowy as possible so it looks like that background is touching him. And then, when I was happy with it in Photoshop, I exported it as a JPEG, kicked it back over to Lightroom, and then found a preset that I liked, and this is the final product. I might have found a few presets that I liked. But that's at least that's what I call a final product for that one. I'm happy with that. I think it's cool. I don't know. And so the next one that I worked on while you weren't looking, we'll go ahead and I don't think I need to save this. So the next one I worked on was this. I saw this lovely fox Mando and was inspired to put her in the woods. So maybe she's on indoor doing some business. I don't know, but I found some public domain material of some woods that really I feel like match the weapon that she's holding, the staff spear thing. And then I obviously, like, the original photo is very cool, green, blue, gray, right? So I had to start getting it to the colors that are warm. And I feel like I got that, I achieved that here. And so to my little idea to save these and show you how I adjusted this was to merge them, drop that layer over into another, like, you know, drag drop into another file over here that's open, and then come back, undo my work, and then bring it back. So you can see both. You can see the before and after of the background now. I figured out how to do it real quick. So here's the finished product of the background. A little more work to the background. I like that. I think it just makes the woods look a little more dreamy. Oh, and here we got our subject. Now, I didn't save every single layer for this, but same rules as before. I did the neural filter, adjusted her to the background, did a couple of different layers. Not sure why I merged them to this, but here we are. And I put in some fog, but the fog is a little too white. So I had to color correct it to the rest of the background. Did that by just dropping a simple layer of, like, I selected, used the paint bucket tool, bring up a new layer, clipped it to that so it doesn't affect the overall background, and then just selected where it looks kind of foggy back here, drop that color in, there it is. Oh, and I put it like a, meshed it in with one of these overlay layers. It's simple. And then the rest are just light effects. And then, oh yeah, here's where I painted over her a little bit, really brought her color up. I don't know. Just have to. I have to paint. Feel like I'm making art, right? Doing something by hand. And then I kicked her back over to Lightroom. Was she not the next one I did? Yes, she was the next one. Okay, there she is. So we went from that to that. Pretty cool. She's in a forest. Yeah, I mean, not bad for being outside. Not in the studio. We were using noon lighting. That's the sun. There's my light. We're working with what we got. But it still looks pretty damn dope. It's okay. And then the next one that we worked on, let's see if I can, there we go. The next one that I did was this one. Don't need to save that now. You've seen it. I don't save my PSD files because they're massive. They end up being 4 or 5 gigs, and I don't need that in my life or on my computer. So I just save the finished product, and that's enough for me. I feel like I'm not going to go back and change it. So, yeah, here's a public domain picture. I didn't even bother taking the lady out. I was like, meh, I'll just block her. Put a little blur on it, started changing the color. Oop. Really started adjusting that. Threw more over it. There's the finished background, and then boom, subject. Don't even have to worry about that lady back there. Now you can see how I blended them in. So I took this original subject. You end up having like 4 or 5 layers of the same thing here, but the original has obviously the original lighting doesn't quite mesh in with the background that I've made for it. So I copied that, boom, there's layer 20 copy, neural filter, meshed it in with the background, and then made another copy, layer 20 copy 2, I guess, put it in overlay, changed the opacity and the fill a little bit because I'm picky. See, it changes it just ever so. And there's another copy. I can take a copy of any of these solid ones, like the first one here. Took another copy, so yeah, layer 20 copy 3. And just painted it black. Just select it, make an overall selection like that, and paint it black. And then go in and blur it to like, what did I have it set at? It's not telling me, but it was like 170 or something. Put your blur up to 170, and then that's your shadow that you can play with. They're outside and not like up against a portrait backdrop, so I'm not making my shadow crazy, but this is something that I do whenever... for example, in like everyday photography that you might do, think recently. Oh yeah, I had a family for Christmas. The holidays were around recently, right? And I had this one family who wanted to do like a high fashion photo shoot kind of a feel for Christmas. They didn't want like Christmas background. They didn't want trees or lights or any of that. They just wanted like solid white, make it look like we're having a high fashion photo shoot, but like really, they were really nicely dressed. And I was like, okay, that sounds like cool. That's cool. That's what you want your Christmas cards to be. I'm down for whatever. And I didn't have a backdrop because I haven't re-upped on my last backdrop roll. I usually use big paper rolls that go on for many feet. But I ran out last year and I never re-upped because I just don't use them that much. But this woman just really wanted this, so I was like, okay, you get whatever backdrop you can, because I can't get mine in time. I have to get it from like a retailer, like a wholesaler. And this was like a week before the shoot. I didn't have time to order one. But she got some little thing off of Temu, whatever, a thing that I won't shop on. But she's like, oh, it said it was bigger, and it looked like a nice background, but what I was working with was like this very thin sheet that you could see right through, and was only, like, it didn't even touch the floor. It wasn't even a whole backdrop. So I had to do some crafty editing, and one of the things I did to put their shadows back in after I whitened out their background completely was this little trick of selecting the subject, copying the layer, and then blurring out a black version of that layer to create a shadow that I can then move into any direction I want and make it look like they're there on that background. So that's a handy little thing. Handy little trick. So that's... Oh, I must have added fog too, and then changed the color of the fog. And I guess that's where I left it. And then I must have kicked it back over to Photoshop, ran it through a couple of presets, and there she is. Different vibe from the first one, but still, you know, I don't know. I believe that she's in a forest, getting ready to fight. Sure. Looks like there's already been a battle. A tree was knocked down. Who knows? So, the very next one. This is gonna be a quick stream. I'm like popping right through these. And I'm not having a lot of chatting today, which is fine. The last few streams I had a lot of chatting and wasn't really able to get a whole lot done. Which is fine. That's fine. Not complaining. I just knew that if I streamed right at this time, I would catch some of my regulars on their way home from work. So they'll probably tune in a little bit. So the next one, what was the next one? Oh, this fella. I'll show you what I did with this guy. I'm trying to do 1 or 2. I can't guarantee if you're one of the Mandos watching this, waiting for your photos. They're almost done. But I can't guarantee you're going to have more than 1 or 2. I wanted to do like 3 for each of you, but then I realized that's like 50 photos to edit. And I was like, no. No thanks. So I still have like a chunk to edit, at least a couple of dozen, because I have chosen to do a couple of each, or 1. In this case, I did 1 for this guy, and 1 for this fella, and I'm gonna do a couple for her, maybe 1 or 2 for him, and a couple. I'd say there's still more. There's more to go, but I'm giving myself till the end of January, and I'm pretty damn good at sticking my deadlines. So you'll all get your photos soon. I just want to do a good job, show you what I can do. Because these Mandos deserve some cool backgrounds, damn it. You guys work so hard on that armor, let's make it look like it's in a cool place. I mean, we live in a pretty cool place, but these backgrounds are cooler. So that was that one. We're not going to save it. I should be taking longer breaks in between each of these so I can clip them. I need a clapboard. Oh, hey! Debating where to go for sunset tonight. The sky looks like it's gonna be fire. Dope. Oh yeah, let me do a shout out. You know, I recently remembered an old adage my mother told me. My mom grew up on a farm. She was adopted by farmer people. But she told me what was the old thing? It was red at dawn. Ah, shit. It was like something about red in the morning, take warning. That it was going to storm in the evening. So, like, if you ever see a beautiful sunrise that has got the intense oranges and reds, it's going to rain later that day. Probably in the afternoon. Fun fact. Old farmers thing. Yeah, I haven't... Probably not going to get out for sunset tonight. I need to get out and take more photos of our landscape. I live in a gorgeous place. But I just don't get out enough. I need to take a little day trip, road trip somewhere. Take some sunset photos. I need to find some good spots. If you know any good spots, let me know. Specifically for, like, you know, that desert vibe. So anyway, back to it. For this one, let me get this on. Hold on. There we go. Off cam. Oh, now my hair's all funky. So for this one, I found a background that I liked. Didn't save all the elements for you, sorry, I didn't do that with all of them, but the combined desert and weird space elements, excuse me, and barely really touched the hue on that, but kind of chilled that teal out a little bit. Put our subject over it. That's the original lighting on the subject. Doesn't look great, not to me at least. So here's all those layers, right, to try to make that subject look like it fits in a little bit better. Wow, I put a lot of black on there. I might fix that. Unless it starts to look better. There it is. Okay. I forgot I sandwiched some shading in there for some reason. It makes sense while it's happening. There's that light. Ooh, that white really brightens up. Put a little, oh yeah, just put a little something over it. Just kind of help blend them in there. And then all the lighting effects coming in clutch. And just the slightest alteration makes it look a little bit better. Love me the scenery around Power Road. Yeah, you live down in Tucson. I need to find some scenery between here and there. You know, if I go up north, just a smidge, I got the Saguaro National Forest, or at least like the tail end of it or the start of it, whichever way you want to look at it. As you go up the I-17 towards like fucking anywhere in northern Arizona, that's the highway out of here. If you go up the 17 north, like I take that to Jerome, for example. On the way there, as you're going up those switchbacks, that first set of switchbacks out of the valley, it's all just kind of little hilly mountains like this. They're not, Arizona to me doesn't have big mountains. I lived in Norway. I lived in a place that's like comparable to Alaska. These aren't mountains we have here. These are hills. Scrubby hills. So on the way up the 17, it's like scrubby hills and saguaros everywhere. That's awesome. I need to go out there at like get a good sunset shot or something. But it's a good like 45 minute hour drive up north out of the valley for me, fighting traffic pre-sunset time. So it would be, I'd have to get up there early and like hang out. That's near Apache Junction, 2 hours drive for me. Southern Arizona and northern Arizona has mountains. Yeah, they have more mountains. That's true. Down here in the valley, it's just hills. We have like the big boys that surround the valley, like 4 peaks that get snow on it. Okay, that's a mountain. It's got peaks. They get snow. Okay, but like for the most part, it's just hills. It's just like rocky hills, and it's cool. I love our landscape. I want to get some photos of like some of the craters and old inactive volcanoes that we have littered around here. But yeah, to me, like, the place I lived in Norway didn't really have the big spiky mountains like they have up north. It was on the southwest coast, a city called Bergen, but the city sits in a mountain bowl, basically. It's like a natural stadium, and it's 7 mountains. And I think the biggest one is called Ulriken, and the one that I lived on was called Fløyen, and I lived like halfway up Fløyen, and you could still drive a car or hike or take a train. They have a train that goes up it called Fløibanen, and go up the mountain. And on top of the mountain there was a visitor center, a restaurant, hiking trails, a lake, woods, some houses tucked away. Like, it was mountains, big mountains with their own like ecosystems existing on them, you know. Out here I don't see that a whole lot. But I love our landscape. Reminds me of like what the ocean floor must have been like a few million years ago. Well, more than a few 100 million years ago. I think Mount Graham is around 11,000 feet. Oh yeah. Flags got the mountain. Flags got what the hell is the name of that one? The big boy, where the ski resort is, where you can ski. I forget what it's called. But yes, Flags got some mountains. More proper mountains. The valley's just got like the tail end of all of that. But it's nice. I actually love Phoenix for its preserves. Like if you drive, well, I mean, like living here is great because everything's a grid. You can't really get lost. But once you hit a preserve, like South Mountain, North Mountain, Piestewa Peak, Camelback Mountain, whatever, if you hit one of those, Dreamy Draw, for example, the grid stops because it's a preserve, right? It's a nature preserve. But there's plenty of chances to go hiking right in the middle of the city and be connected with the desert and nature, and it's really nice. But I'm from the Midwest, so to me, being connected with nature is being in trees. And to do that, I need to go up north. It's not quite the same as home, but there's trees. and greenery. Pine trees is close enough. Humphreys? Is it Humphreys? I think it's Humphreys. I think it's Humphreys, yeah. I think it's Mount something. We Google's a thing. Let's see. I hate to use Google though, so we'll use DuckDuckGo. And we're gonna find out now that I'm curious. We know the tallest mountain in the world. It's Everest, baby. 10 tallest peaks in Arizona. I just want the tallest one. Can I? Humphreys. Highest natural point and second most prominent peak after Mount Graham. So it's the highest natural point, but the second most prominent. So it's higher than Mount Graham. How about that? Yeah, Humphreys, 12,000, almost 13,000 feet. Yeah, that's the one in Flag. Wow. Yep, that's how I've seen it in winter. I haven't seen it with that much snow in a minute, but I've seen it like that in the last decade. Whoa, what's this? Is this recent? No. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I wanted to go snowboarding up there in my 20s, and I bought a board. I actually found a really nice Burton board. I learned how to snowboard a little bit in Norway, not good at it or anything, but like I can do it now. I could do it at the time without falling down. I found a great board, Burton Custom, great boots to like DC boots to go with it, and I think I might have used it once. And then I got diagnosed with my back thing that I got. Now my doctor was like, you probably shouldn't do anything that risks you impacting your spine in any way. And I was like, dope. So like all physical activities right out the door. Nice. Probably the coolest mountains here in AZ are the... Oh boy. Hard to spell. Brother, hard to say. Chiricahua? I don't fucking know. God, that's embarrassing. Probably, what I just said. That's something else. I'll have to look up the pronunciation on YouTube or something. So, okay, after I was done with this in Photoshop, I kicked it back over to Lightroom. Think. I'm gonna put some more snooze in my face. I'll be right back. Try to do that off camera so you don't have to see me put crap in my mouth. And I don't want to get in trouble by Twitch. Chiricahua. Oh, fuck, I can't fucking say that. It's a tough one. Alright, so after I put this back into Lightroom, I probably ran it through some presets and got it there, of all places. I think it's nice. I think it looks okay. He's more cohesive with the background, right? It's nice. It's cute. Maybe I should cover his neck. I didn't notice that until now. Not sure how they feel about having a little skin showing. I could make it look like this isn't down. I also don't think it matters. Yeah, we'll leave it. Let's see. That's the one I did for him. And then I started in on this lady. I think I just did this one this morning. I wanted to get a few more done today, but I've had some stuff going on, so. But I have tomorrow. I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow. If I do, it'll be like this. It'll be later in the afternoon. But I typically have therapy on Thursdays, so it's like, how do I feel? Do I want to be broadcasting myself live to the world right after I have therapy? You know, how am I feeling? But if I'm feeling good, I'll do it, and I'll definitely get some more of these done in the morning. So that's the lesson that I learned last time, was definitely don't try to do too much work on stream, but I can absolutely go over my work and show you what I've done. And doing this on stream, like doing one of these on stream takes 3 or 4 hours, whereas doing one of them in real life takes an hour. So realistically, I can get a few more done during the day. It depends, you know, how much work I'm putting into it, how much time I'm taking to fiddle with it. But let's see. What did I do for her? She gives me owl vibes. She has like, did I show you this guy? Yeah, Wait, did I? No. I didn't show you this guy. I showed you the blue guy. I skipped right over. I had him out of order. My B. Let me show you. Let me back up. I don't think I showed you this guy. Yeah. So this fella, what I did for him. I was having issues. I'm still having issues. I haven't found a fix for it with the color profile for some of these. It's a long story. You check my last stream if you're interested. Low Base was trying to help me with it. Oh, good luck, Razorpan. Have fun. Good luck. I hope you get a good sunset. So I was having this issue, like, this photo does not look like this outside of this file. It looks normal. It looks like an orange desert with, like, a slightly orangey planet in the sky. But when I dropped it, for some damn reason, when I drop it into, the, like, my edit, where I want to edit it, it's changing the color profile. It's still coming, it's, like, showing normal sRGB, but it's obviously, like, not, so I don't know what's going on. Couldn't figure it out. So I fixed it. That's what it's supposed to look like. I just had to do it manually. There we go. Added a little vibrance to it. And then here's that final product with a little blur put on it. Because I like to, this new thing I'm doing, I just like to slightly throw my background out of whack just a little bit on these. Because I kind of want it to look drawn in, not like composited in. If that makes sense. Kind of like my Deadpool. My Deadpool doesn't look like a picture, it looks like a drawing. Sorry if I'm jiggling my camera around. I am close to my desk and my chair is hitting my desk. Alright, so I found my layer, fixed my layer, took my subject, selected them. The original lighting for that subject looks like that. That's not copacetic with the background, it's not cohesive. So we got new layer, neural filter, copy, just to do an overlay because I'm weird. It barely changes it, but it changes it just enough that I like it. And then I start to hand paint white over white, red over red, black over black, whatever colors are in the subject. What's this one? This is just a little more light. I liked bright. I like a lot of saturation, a lot of contrast, and things to be bright. There's a way to avoid shake on this. The monitor is massive and heavy, and it came with like a thing to bolt it to my table, so it doesn't like. But it's up against the wall, so I'm not worried about it tipping in any like it's on a huge stand. But if I shake my desk just even a little bit or touch anything the wrong way, it rattles my monitor and my camera's attached to it. Or I could just, I guess, figure out another situation for my camera. I'm just thinking out loud. Trying to think of these things on the fly. Alright, so I think that's the finished product for that guy. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then, if I liked it like that, I saved it as a JPEG, exported it, kicked it back over into Lightroom, put it through for a few presets, and then landed on this. I think I'm happy with that. I think. I don't know. I don't know. I never know what to think about these things. Then I did something with the owl. I think she's just giving me owl vibes, right? She's got feathers. This kind of comes up like an owl's, like their ears, you know. So yeah, I went with that, kind of given like a woodsy vibe. Again, like kind of like the fox. So I finagled a background. Ran this. There's like. Used a little AI for the top of the space thing because I couldn't find a public domain picture of shutter drag, like stars. That's what that is. It's like a Razorfan would understand. It's where you leave like a shutter open and you get stars moving like that. I couldn't find a picture like that I liked. So I used AI to get the sky, and then I used picture of the true, but like AI makes everything look really painted sometimes, and some of these I can't show you with my fingers. Some of these aren't perfect little circles, right? So I put in another layer of a forest. You can kind of see where I crudely meshed them together back here. And then I ran this through Filter Gallery. This was all in a separate file. Ran it through Filter Gallery, gave it that dappled paint look, just to kind of match it to that AI paint sky. So I do use AI in some things, but I don't use like full-blown... I don't let AI make my background. I'm still in charge of that. I'll let it help with an element of my background to maybe save me a couple of steps, but that's all it's doing. It's saving me a couple of steps. I'm still doing the work. So that's my relationship with AI. It hasn't put me out of business quite yet, because I see what some cosplayers online have shared. They're like, oh, I used this AI app to put in this cool background. I'm like, yeah, but it gave you 10 fingers, or it doesn't really quite mesh your cosplay into that background perfectly. It's not quite right, not yet. So I'm still relevant. Also art. So here's her original color profile from the original picture. That doesn't mesh, so I started to fuck with it. Got it there, using that technique of cloning the hell out of the layer. Oh, added some fog, did that color correction thing with the fog again. More fog, we went really crazy with the fog. I try to do something, like, when I first started doing this, I was just a background and the subject, and that was it. And then I got into the background and the subject and lighting elements. And that was it. And now, for a little while, I've done background, subject, lighting elements, and I'm trying to get more into like a foreground element, like fog, dust, anything to make them look like they're there, or put something in front of them. Like sometimes I'll have a situation where I can't remember the name of the character, but it was from the cyberpunk anime, Lucy. I shot Lucy at Comic-Con in Phoenix last year, Fan Fusion, whatever, and I had her. I knew the picture I wanted to edit that I've seen from the anime. I knew the exact shot that I wanted to get, and so I had her sit on a bench the exact way that character would sit, and then I edited her exactly that way and put something a little bit in front and a little bit behind her and different elements and stuff like that to make it look like she was really in that environment. And it's not perfect. I don't think my work's like awesome or anything, but it kind of shows you how far I've come. I'm always willing to try new things, and I want to make things look better all the time. So if I can't convince myself that these things look nice, how can I convince anybody else? So let's see. I kicked her back over into Lightroom. Here's the before. Here's the after. I really messed with the color profile in Lightroom. I got a little carried away, but I like it deep like this. Versus, it's a little lighter here, right? But you get the vibe. But here you really get the vibe. I want that painted look. I want her to look almost painted on. But when you see it, it's like, oh, that's a picture? Oh, you took a picture of a cosplayer. That's a person. Then you painted them into the background, or painted the background around them. You know, whatever. But yeah, it's not exactly a painting, but it's not exactly a picture. It's a little bit of both. And the next one, I was gonna do this one of her, and I just haven't gotten there yet. Let's see. Go ahead and get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. Oh yeah, and I'm working on this. I'm trying to... The armor, I think it's just the way she's posed, but she looks like a toy. And this is not fleshed out. This is just like her on a background and me trying to get an idea of what I want to do. And I don't know. I have no idea what I want to do with her. Because it's so hard to put her in an environment that's not the Forge, and it's hard to find elements of the Forge that aren't ripping something directly off from Disney. So yeah, this is a heavily blended public domain picture of a diorama somebody made. I was like, yes, thank you for putting this picture in the public domain. Good luck selling your diorama. I'm taking the picture. It's public. So that's what I'm working on now. In this guy, I want to work on him. These are what's on my chopping block up next. And this fella and her. So I was getting started on her. I have a bunch of background. I could try. I could see what I can do here on stream. Oh, there's my pet rabbit. Hi, sweetie. What you doing? Cool as hell, girl. You're so dope. You got a rockin' mullet. She has a rockin' mullet. She's a rock star. Alright, let's see. Did I select the character? No. Alright, we'll start right from the top. I found a bunch of backgrounds that I potentially like. Or that I potentially... Well, all of them have been made in separate files. Separate windows in Photoshop. Use it. Don't get into nothing you're not supposed to now. The backgrounds are made in separate windows, files, and artboards, whatever the fuck you call Photoshop. But I'll use different elements, maybe some AI, maybe some public domain stuff, usually a little combination of everything. Do all the color correcting, filtering to make it look like a painting or whatever I'm going for, and then I'll collapse it, because that in itself is a 5 gigabyte file. And then I'll collapse it, and then save it as a JPEG, a big one, and then have my own backgrounds, right? And so then I'll take those finished backgrounds, drop them into the file that I want to start editing, and still when I'm done with this file alone will be 5 gigs. So if I did my background and my background creation and my subject stuff all in the same file, it would be like a 10 to 12 gig thing, and I just can't. My computer can't. Well, I mean, maybe, but let's not push it. So that's why I do the background separate, because they really are just two different assignments, you know. But it's a lot of work, and that's why these take a long time to finish, because I'm doing all this stuff from scratch. So I'm sourcing the materials, I'm mixing, compositing, layering, all the stuff. So here I clicked their select subject here, and it gave me a little rough, but you can see where it's not perfect. So I'm going to take the quick selection tool. Damn, it got this almost perfect. But shit, I'm going to come in and try to fix things up a little bit, and I'll go in more manually here in a second, but this way I can just get like the bigger chunks. Oh, don't need that. Let's see, don't need that. Definitely want that. And unfortunately, sometimes subjects can kind of have the same colors as the background, and it confuses the AI, like in this situation. She's got a lot of brown. Like this paracord right here is brown and blue. That needs to be out. Oh, I'm just going to have to do that by hand. That's okay. Okay. And if I get quiet and stop chatting so much, it's because I'm focused. Or it's because my friggin' jaw hurts. I didn't pregame for this, so might get a little tight. Not sponsored, but if your tummy's feeling funny, ginger ale. Or just ginger, period. Suck on some ginger. Boy, she's really got some desert colored stuff on. I'm just gonna have to go in and do that by hand. That's okay. That's alright. So if you're just joining us, welcome. I'm Big Click Energy. Hi. And we're working on Mandalorians. We're up close, we're personal, we're selecting. If you got, I think we're losing Prime subs soon, which is weird. History lesson here, real quick. Twitch is owned by Amazon now. Bummer. But it has been for a minute too, not just recently or anything. But it's owned by Amazon, and that's why we have Prime subs. If you have Amazon Prime, you can use your Amazon Prime to subscribe to your favorite Twitch user for 1 month. It doesn't roll on. You have to keep using your Prime sub every month. But if you use it, it's $5 that Jeff Bezos doesn't get to keep. So if you have Amazon Prime, I suggest you use your Prime sub. Not necessarily on me, but go find a Twitch streamer that you like, that you appreciate, that you want to support. Hit that Prime sub, because they might be getting rid of it soon, and we need to keep using it while we got it. So please, Prime it. Use your Prime sub whenever you can for anyone. Just use it, or you're gonna lose it. Alright, that's where I want to... too much. Calm down. Too far. Alright, so now I'm going to select inverse that selection. I'm sure there's a keyboard. I never learned all the I know some shortcuts, but not enough. I actually have a keyboard skin that has a Photoshop, like it's for Photoshop. It's just all the shortcuts. But I never put it on my keyboard and use it and memorize anything. What was I doing? Oh yeah, hit this button. Dink. Now everything's red. Ah, boy, there's ropes and feathers and stuff. Now I'm gonna go in with. This is inevitable. See, AI is not perfect. You still gotta go in and do things manually. So now I'm just gonna go in and fill in where the selection. Stop it. Where the automatic selector missed some spots. I'm just going to go in and grab those spots with this. So what I've done is selected everything, went up there to this, select menu, hit inverse, went down here. It's hard to see through my little face here, but right here, see my cursor moving right there in the corner? Right there on the side? That, whatever the hell that's called. Once you click that, the whole thing highlights, and then you can use the paintbrush tool with black and white. It has to be black and white specifically. Black fills in, white takes away. White acts as an eraser in this instance for this technique. And it's so handy. It helps you get your selections so precise. Another photographer who's interested in doing work like this asked me one time, they're like, your work's so great. And I was like, that's not true, but thank you. Yeah, how can I help you? You know, they reached out to me and they're like, I just got some questions. They're like, how do you get your selection so perfect? And I was like, oh, dude, you got to go in and hand paint, man. And he's like, oh, you know, he was one of those people who had heard about the pen tool. And I was like, you know, if you can make that work for you, I'm sure you can get a good result. But this is just what works for me, and this is how I get it so clean. In my earlier work, like, I could go to my website right now and point out a few pieces and show you, like, look where it's not clean. But it's really hard for... I've taken down most of the old stuff that's kind of messy and obviously old. But there's a few pieces where it's like, you can't tell, but I know where it is. I know where the mistake lies. But ever since I learned this trick, it's gotten me through. I just go all the way around about this zoomed in, maybe a little bit more. And I just go all the way around the perimeters of the subject and fill in everywhere. And sometimes I'll go over the edge just a little bit, and that's okay, because after I've selected and taken the subject out of the original background and dropped it on a plain checkered background, I can just erase and clean up those edges with an eraser tool. Like here, for example, I'm probably going to regret highlighting this hair right here, but whatever. The AI has gotten really damn good at doing hair. I don't really have to worry about hair anymore like I used to. It used to be such a pain in the ass to get hair, feathers, anything with like a fine hair texture, essentially, to translate well into a fresh background without it looking like you you know, completely altered their hair or smoothed it down unnaturally. Like, you need some flyaways. Not every flyaway needs to be taken away. There, it looks weird. God, I hate that it didn't get this damn edge. And now I have to. Ugh. Oh, I'm gonna go outside the line. I use a mouse for this, by the way. Not a fucking tablet, so it's not like... I really don't know how people use tablets. Oh, god damn it. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna see. I'm just gonna see. Whoa, what the... Not that. That's... Stop it. Mouse gets buggy. I don't think blowing in it actually works, but it... It's like the old Nintendo habit. Gotta blow into it. Alright, I want this tool. I'll make it small. Please just do this work for me. Grab that edge, damn it. It's part of what I want. Grab it. Grab it. If I can get this tool to grab it, then I don't have to paint it so much. Or worry about it not being cleaner. Because the AI will clean up the edges. I have it set, I have edges set to like feather or something. So it should come out as a nice clean selection. Yeah. That was a little overzealous. God damn it. Damn it, Bobby. It's okay. At least it's roughly selected and I can go in and just clean it up rather than painting the whole friggin' thing. Anything else here want to be difficult? Real quick? Yeah. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit right there. Where else? Where else is it a janky ass mess? Let's see. Not that much. Oh my god. Might as well try to fill it in here. It's supposed to be one of those smart tools. It's not always smart. Sometimes it's dumb. Oh yeah, that's a tree. There we go. Good to see that. See how her color just blends right the hell in with the background. Right there. Scheiße. Oh my god, can you not? How do you not see it? I can see it. Oh my god, okay. Well, it's just getting out of control. There we go. Sometimes you have to help train the thing. No. There we go. It's a pain in the butt. Oh my god. How is it not obvious what I want you to do? There we go. Stop trying to drastically fuck up, would ya? Tool? Alright. That's as clean as I'm gonna make it with this. In that spot. It's pretty good at latching onto the edges though. Alright. Now let's inverse it. That back out. Just go over it, double check. Where was I? I was up here. Yeah, I got that edge. Thank you. That's less painting for me. I might regret that. I might want to erase that edge after all. I don't fucking know. We'll see what happens after it's selected. I see a little silver right there. Yeah, that's a part of it. Shit. There we go. Oh, here's a little bit. You're also not working with real steel weapons here, you're working with foam and stuff, so it can get a little chopped up around the edges after they get used and, you know, carried around as props for however many hundreds of times they're used before they have to get fixed. Ah, perfect edges. A little bit that missed. Trying to make sure I didn't miss much. I can also, another neat trick is if you go through this whole thing and let's say you take your, excuse me, I have to stretch. Let's say you take your subject out of its original background, and let's say you accidentally didn't select enough. Like, let's say I didn't get that edge just right, or whatever, this little clip right here or something. I can use the clone stamp tool to copy right next to it and brush in and make it look like nothing ever happened. So that's another little trick, tip, whatever, hack. If you over-select, or under-select, I should say. I'm not too worried about those scraggly little hairs. They'll blend in fine with the background. I use a soft brush to go in and kind of muddle with the hairs anyway to make them look not so selected in the final product. Hopefully it comes out good in the end. I'm not a very good judge. I think all my work is crap. That's cleaner. Change it over to white, get that corner. Okay, not too worried about the hair, just want to make sure everything else is selected. That's fine. That worked out really well actually for that piece. What the fuck is going on here? What is going on here? Is it the clothes or the rock? That's clothes. Okay, then I'm just gonna do this, and then we'll figure it out later. I'd rather over select and have to erase than under select and have to clone. The clone stamp tool is a nice thing to have, but it's the last resort for fixing shit, because I'd rather just have it all and erase down to the subject than try to bring the subject back. It's like cutting hair, right? You can't put it back, so you gotta take a little bit out at a time. Oh, Missed that spot altogether. It's another thing, you had to look in the subject, make sure I didn't miss any of the armor, the weapons, the face, parts of the helmet. That's fine, okay. I'll go back down here. That's part of it. That's just how it's selected, okay. Just talking myself through it. Oh boy, okay, here's where I knew there was going to be some trouble. This little piece of rope here. So yeah, let's just go in and select as much as we can. Feather that out a little bit. Soften that up. Okay. And I'll probably have to go in and erase some of that. That's exactly why I'm over compensating right now, so if I have to erase a little bit, it won't look too weird later. Because I'm a bull in a china shop in many ways, and one of them, I have a blunt hand with this. I use a heavy hand, big brushes, that kind of thing. I don't really get into like, I use a soft brush for everything. I don't really get into like I have a million different brushes that I use for different things, but for the most part, this is it. I'll just use this blunt tool for everything. Whoops, that's too much. Make that smaller. Loud car, everybody's impressed. Wow. Your gas bill must be so high. Sorry, there's a big loud car that just went by. I'm so shocked if you didn't hear it. Oh, that's another reason I have to stream late in the afternoons on Tuesday is the leaf blowers today. I considered streaming earlier and then they kicked in and I was like, yeah. They kept blowing leaves. They were blowing dust around for like an hour and a half. There's no damn leaves on the ground right now. Alright, I think that's as selected as she's gonna get, ladies and gentlemen. Let's back it up. Inverse it back. Copy paste. Not bad. Not a bad selection. Everything's there. She's not missing any pieces. This is good. Alright, now I'm going to bring her all the way to the top. Whew. I'm going to give myself 20 more minutes, guys. And then I got a skidoo. I need to probably put food in my body. I haven't done that in many hours. And then I should run that errand I gotta do. Errands. Alright. So for now, let's fuck around with these backgrounds. Like I said before, the backgrounds end up being as massive as these files, so they're made separately. They are their own composites. Fuck, I like that. That's cute. That's the same woods as before. Alright, I might use that. Definitely not that one. That one. Maybe. Yeah, I kind of like that. Fuck, that's gonna be hard to pick. It's okay. She's in the middle of a stream. I should have known better than to mix that element in when I was doing it, but I got carried away. Nope. This is that process of elimination I was telling you about that you don't get to see all the time. Kind of like that. Trying to narrow it down. Definitely don't like that one. Hey, Ice Guys sometimes came out right. Okay, fuck. Now I have to pick. Oh no. Now I have to choose. I'm choosing. Choosing. Here's the hard part. There can only be one. This is the Highlander situation. Okay. I really like the first one. That's pretty damn dope. Looks like she's right on the edge of the stream. Foreground's got the right kind of blur. I set it up. I'm getting better at setting up my backgrounds. Getting better at it. I like that one. It really fits with that first one. I want them to be cohesive. Fuck, that one looks cool too. If I had more of an audience here, I'd put a poll up and be like, alright, everybody vote. You pick. Chat picks. Maybe one day, after the audience grows. Fuck, that one's cool too. It's really hard to pick. Might be able to mix them together. Take that one out. I might be able to mess around with this and figure something out. Either way, let's pretend it's this one, because no matter which way I slice it here, the backgrounds have the same colors going on. I think I want that one. So we'll just leave it on this for now, and I'm gonna probably keep messing with that background, but just for the sake of moving forward, and to show you a few more things before I get off of here, keep in mind that's not exactly the background I'm going to have. It's going to be like it, but not exactly. But it will be in the same color scheme, so I'm going to take her... hold on. Take a copy first. Wait, god damn it. Copy. Thank you. Filter neural neurons. Take a neural filter. Harmonization, I think it was this one. Bump it up. So you can see what's happening. Let's see what that does. get me a close approximation, hopefully. Whoa, that's a little much, darling. Calm it down. Okay, I'm okay with that. We deselect, you can see, yeah, it definitely helped make the coloring more cohesive with the background. So I'm going to copy that again, the new one. I just kept that one there so you could see it. And then I'm going to take this and make it probably, odds are, a soft light. Whoa. Yeah, so there's the original color, there's the new color with an overlay layer. Soft lit. Fuck with it a little bit. Yeah, just enough to make me happy. I think it's like right around 70. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'll bring in all the overlay, lighting, effects, fog maybe, just to make it look a little more blended in the foreground. And I'll probably keep messing around with that background because I don't know, I like two of them too much, so I'm going to try to put them together. And the next time you see me, maybe another day this week, if not tomorrow, maybe Friday, you'll see me working on some of these other ones. Hopefully I'll have some of these done by the time you see them here. And again, if you're one of these Mandalorians waiting for your photos, it's going to be a little bit longer, but they're getting done. As you can see, it takes a bit of time. It's all from scratch. So you just got to let it cook, you know? Just got to let it cook. But they'll be done soon. That was a pretty slow chat today. That's fine. I appreciate Razorfan for dropping in. It's also going to be half the stream that I usually do. I usually somehow end up doing a 3-hour stream. Today's not going to be that much. I got stuff to do. Oh, excuse me. So, let me go over one more time what we did here today and what we're working on. Oh, hush you. So, we started with this guy last time. We did this on stream. And then, while you weren't looking, I went ahead and did some more work. And for the last hour and a half, we've been going over them. And if you missed this live stream, hopefully you're catching the VOD. Let's see. And then we looked at this guy. There's the after for him. And we got this guy. Not bad. And we started in on the owl lady. I think she's an owl. Forgive me if you're not an owl. But it's giving me owl vibes, so that's what I'm going with there. And then I also have the fox Mando here. There's the before. There's the after. I like that. And there's one more for the fox. Pretty cool. It's believable. It's believable. So yeah, that's what we did. That's what we got up to today. Lots of Mandos. Another thing that's coming up here, let's see, for the next few streams until these Mandos are done, that's pretty much what I'm going to be focusing on. But after that, it'll just go back to like normal stuff. But something fun that's coming up, for many years, I have been volunteering for a little thing called ZapCon. And if you're in Arizona, you might be familiar with it. It's the world's largest? I'm not sure. It's the largest pinball convention. It's not just pinball, though. It's arcade games as well. So, if you can think it, it's there. It's the Mesa Convention Center, and it's just, imagine a convention floor just filled with pinball machines, like 1,000 of them. Maybe more. I don't remember. I don't know, but there's definitely 1,000 at least of just games. There's probably 10,000 games to play total, but there's like this huge convention hall space where all the pinball machines are set up, and then there's like another part of the convention center where you can go in and do like the old consoles like NES, SNES, Sega. I think recently they even started adding like GameCube back there, things like that. And they even have a gigantic NES controller that's like as big as my desk. It's like a desk. It's really cool. Actually, I'll show you. So that's coming up. I believe it's in March this year. I picked out the person who manages it. It's got a whole board of people who organize it and get it going and stuff. But the main guy who I have to talk to, I had to send him some photos today. He wanted to see like just not hundreds, but like a couple dozen of my favorites. And so before we go, I'll run through these with you. If you ever follow ZapCon on Facebook or go to their website or anything, if you see any photos, really, they're probably mine. Hopefully they're mine. I've been volunteering for ZapCon. I think I've been doing it since like 2019, 2018. I've done it 3 or 4 times now, something like that. There's my friend. I know that guy. He's the one who got me in. He's got the best pinball machine too. It's Tales from the Crypt. Oh my god. It's so cool. So yeah, this is just it's cool for me because I volunteer and get them all the content they'll ever need for the next year or so, and I get to get in and get free play all weekend. So I'm also walking around and playing all these games the whole time. Do a little work, play some games. Do a little work, play some games. Go outside, get a bite to eat. There's food trucks and stuff. It's really fun. It's not very expensive either. I don't know what it is now, but I believe it used to be like 25 or 30 bucks a person, and per day it's 2 days, and that's free play all day, so you don't have to put coins or tokens into these. You just walk up and press the start button. But this is, yeah. Oh hey, just got home from the hospital. What the fuck, man? You okay? Low bass. Let's do a shout out. See if I can remember how to do that on the fly. It's a slash. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it worked. Shout out to Low Bass Guy. Low Bass Guy is an awesome photographer who does all kinds of groovy stuff. Last time I was watching you, you were doing, actually you were trying to set something up to post. You were trying to get yourself posting for like the next 300 days or something fucking crazy like that. I was like, I can't do that, man. My work doesn't work out like that. But when I think of Low Bass, I think of snakes. He does really cool snake photography, all kinds of photography, but the thing that really comes to my mind is snakes. I think you like snakes. Oh, you're fine. Mom's back in the ICU. Oh no. Well, I hope your mom's gonna get the hell out of there. 3 weeks done today in the hospital, so I'm scheduled to the end of April. Holy shit, man. That's nuts, dude. It's nuts. Yeah, I'm just giving the folks a sneak peek at what's coming in March, if I am to indeed volunteer again this year. They didn't have ZapCon happening last year. Whoa, AI really fucked up the background there. I used a little AI program to sharpen some of these up because my new Lightroom tool won't let it happen. Wow, that really fucked up those faces. I'll have to fix some things, fucked up other things. So yeah, ZapCon. Oh, here's that giant Nintendo thing that I was talking about. It's a lot. It's clunky, but it's fun. I played it once. Well, now I want to go through and check and make sure that nobody else looks weird as hell. What is this face down here? That's like on a picture? Okay. Maybe the AI program didn't do the best. Yeah, it worked out. That was the first year I ever did ZapCon. I've upgraded cameras twice since I started doing ZapCon, so yeah, I have been doing it a little while. But this was the first year. I remember this. This was one of the first pictures I took. I saw this lady with this amazing mohawk, and I was like, "Wow, okay, I'm taking a picture of you." But this is like a little collage I made from that first year. It's a lot of fun, really cool thing. And I get to go in early too, before the public, and watch all this stuff get loaded in. And people ship their pinball machines from all over the country just to have them out here for the convention, and then they ship them back. And it's like the stress of these rather expensive machines being shipped around. And some of these are antiques, man. Like some of these are old, very, very old. Like arcade game, like older than what the shit that we grew up with. Like they have pinball from like the 60s. Oh, this one. Oh, this right here. This was new last. They didn't have ZapCon last year, so 2022 was the last time I did this. This must have been 2022. But this Star Wars thing, this machine, you get in it, and it's like a cockpit, and it's like a VR. You're flying a fucking come on, Pauline, Starfighter? No, yes. X-wing, TIE Fighter, X-wing. Come on, you know your ships. You're flying an X-wing around. I guess you could fly a TIE Fighter too, but for the brief time that I was playing it, I was an X-wing, and holy crap, it was cool. But it made me a little like. It definitely made me a little nauseous. It's got like this wraparound screen, so without putting a VR helmet on, you're kind of stepping into a VR capsule basically. And after like 5 minutes, I was like, I'm dizzy. I want to get out of here. But it was a lot of fun. Oh, I love that Monsters one. That's a good one. I'm not going to tell you how I got some of these overhead shots, but I can get some pretty cool overhead shots of these pinball. Oh, that's a good one, the Deadpool one. A lot of this is just me waiting in line. Like I'll just walk up and see a couple kids, maybe some smiling faces or an interesting person or something happening. Click. And then I just stand around and wait for that machine to free up so I can play it too. Oh, and then there's these guys that go around all weekend and just fix shit as it breaks down. I have a Pac-Man game I want to sell. No thanks on the TIE Fighter. I prefer shields. Oh, yeah, right. You have like a Pac-Man arcade game you want to sell? Probably find somebody here who wants to buy it. Oh, and they also have a band that plays, I forget the name, 8-bit something, but they do like video game music. And it's a whole like family operation. Like there's kids in the band too. It's really cool. And it's really awesome. I've seen them live a few times, not just at ZapCon. 8-bit something, I forget the name of the band. I'll have to figure it out this year. But yeah, that's the highlights I chose for ZapCon, and now I realize I need to go in and clean some stuff up real quick. So anyway, that's what we did today. We did Mandalorians and looked at ZapCon. And ZapCon's something you'll see me edit when that comes around in March, I believe, is ZapCon this year. It used to be in April, but March. I'm not complaining. It's probably not going to be as hot. It starts to warm up here pretty quickly around like the end of April and May. By May, it's over. Our winter is long gone by May. And then June is hell, and then July is worse, and then August is like you're living on the surface of the sun. And then after that, it starts to get better. But it doesn't really cool off until November again. Right now, it's chilly. Like right now, I have to wear a hoodie when I go outside. I can't just have just my t-shirt. Meanwhile, I have friends and family back in Illinois that are in like a polar vortex and it's -30. I'm enjoying my desert weather. See, what time is it? Oh, it's 6. I said I was going to skedoot right at 6, huh? I gotta go do something before a place closes. I'm gonna go get some stuff, run an errand, potentially eat dinner, maybe relax. I never know how. I'll probably take the rest of the night off. I'll get right back to work on these edits in the morning, though. I pretty much work 9 to 5 every day at my desk. And then after I'm done editing as much as I can potentially edit in that time, maybe I'll start streaming around like 4 or 5 tomorrow night. It depends on how I feel. And if you don't see me tomorrow, you'll probably see me Friday unless something happens. If you don't see me at all for the rest of the week, you'll see me again next week at some point during the week. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. It was so nice to have you here. I'm Big Click Energy. Let me open that up and show you. There I am, bigclickphoto.com. Let me share that in the chat, in the chizzy. Probably be in the hospital all day tomorrow. See it, man. Good luck with your mama. I really hope she comes out of there, because that's unfortunate, man. I hope your mom gets better. But it's good that you're there with her. Definitely be there as much as you can. You won't regret it. So yeah, on that note, good luck, man. All my good vibes are with your mom. Send it all out there. I can't send my mom good vibes anymore, so I'll send them all to your mom. I really hope she gets better, dude. Good luck. Let us know. Keep us updated. And yeah, as for me, Big Click Energy, check out my website. You can, some people don't know how to find my portfolio, but it's all these are clickable. There's also a menu here. If you look at it on your phone, there's a little three stripes. Click on that. That's a menu. Just find the word portfolio. Click on it. And you can find all my things. Headshots, cosplay, drag, glow, events, weddings, families, grads, stuff, and animals, and more stuff, and stuff, and stuff, and stuff. I also do graphic design. Oh crap, did I put those movie flyers in here? I sure did. Alright, I need to update one more thing on my website, it looks like. Yeah, if you ever need a menu for your food truck, or a cover for your book, or a flyer for your show, or whatever, a poster for your movie, I do that too. So go check out all my work. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to put me to work, hit that contact button. Send me an email. And I would be so happy to get back to you and see what we can do. Alright. Yeah. Alright. I need to get like a better intro outro for these things. There's like notes. There's marks I'm supposed to hit, right? Thank you. Sub. Follow. Like. Share. Subscribe. Comment. Engage. Whatever. If you follow me or you want to follow me, go to bigclickphoto.com/links. I'll pop that in the chat real quick too, just so it shows up. And this way, I have a few different link pages, but this is the quickest one to find. But this way you can quickly get to my Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, which you're on now, YouTube, and Facebook. So my Instagram, BigClickEnergy1, just the one there. I haven't uploaded in a while. I need to post something. As soon as some of these Mandos are done, I will. I'm on TikTok, Big Click Energy. I'm on Twitch. Oh my god, you're here right now. I'm on YouTube, Big Click Energy again. I try to have that name everywhere so I'm easy to find. And Facebook, Big Click Energy. I recently updated my profile picture. I need to do that everywhere. Crap. Being a photographer, being your own business, there's so much stuff to do. I feel like I never catch up. There's no catching up. There's always something to do. So yeah, find me, follow me, share, like, engage. Engagement, even if you just like something, you know, you don't have to comment, but just engaging with stuff is helpful. If you can't afford to hire me, or you live too far away, or whatever the reason may be, but you still want to support me, engage with my stuff. Drop a like, drop a comment, share something once in a while. Like, that really helps beat some of the algorithms and stuff and gets more eyes on my work. And it's all word of mouth. The internet never changed that. We still have to, you know, most of my clients come from, when I get someone new, they usually say, oh, so-and-so told me about you, or so-and-so had such a great experience, I wanted to see what it was like, or, oh, I saw your work with this cosplayer, can you do that with my cosplay? Yes. You know, it's word of mouth. But the internet helps spread that word a little faster. So, let's help each other. Let's engage with each other's work. Let's share our stuff. This year, one of my goals for the new year, I don't make resolutions, but I do make goals. And one of my goals this year was I have many goals. One of them was support small business owners, not shop online if I can help it, and shop local. Not just shop local, but if I can't find it locally, I want to find a small business somewhere that's not a corporation, right? So that's one of my goals this year, is to support small businesses, shop local, shop small business, and just try to avoid the big box stores and Amazon and whatever the fuck, online shopping has come to nowadays. Just trying to get back to the root of it. Some online shopping's fine, but even sites like Etsy, where you could find small businesses, are going haywire and not treating their sellers very well. So I don't know, is there really even a good site to use anymore? I don't know. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I appreciate having you. Big Click Energy. You can find me here on Twitch. I might be back tomorrow or the next day, we'll see. For now, I'll leave you with the last piece, and I'll say my goodbye. It was the last thing we worked on today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys later.